Good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together. Okay, who am I lying? It's going to be an hour. Uh, Celebrating the third anniversary of this podcast. Woo! It's our third anniversary. So I am excited to get to share that with you. I cannot wait to see what we got in store for us today. It's going to be fun. There's going to be glitter involved. So get ready for that. So today, can I really pull off a glam look in my, let's just call it liberties? So together, we're going to do a full face tutorial. We're going to hang out. We're going to look over James chapter 5 as we kick off on our last chapter of the book of James. So remember, while we're live, you can ask any question you want on whatever platform you are on. Hang on just a minute. I see I got some sound happening over here. There we go. So you can ask any question that you have, whether it be something about the makeup I'm using, the application I'm doing, the technique, something about the Bible verse, whatever. Ask that whatever platform you're on, and I will do my best to get that answered. So while we are getting everything set up and ready to go, this is your opportunity to hit like and subscribe and to share this episode with someone that you love and care about, and someone you know that would just like to have a little, zhuzh up in their makeup routine. Or they're really working hard to memorize scripture. All the above. So go ahead and give me a shout out where you are coming from. Let me celebrate your location as well as our third anniversary. So go ahead, again, hit like and subscribe, share the episode, grab your lashes, grab your palettes, grab your brushes, and then get on back here. Let's get going.
A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Thursdays at 8. Can't wait. Come on in, sis. Grab your joy, take your place. We're talking beauty, talking scripture, talking God's good grace. From blush to Bible, He's the one who makes us glow. Faith on your lips, love in your soul.
All right. Gosh, I love our theme song. Okay, so shout out. Oh, I got some happy anniversaries. Woo, woo. Yes, my hair did change. Thank you. I'm glad you like the deeper pink. It's actually the same color. It's just when your hair is shorter, you can see the darker. So, anyways, long story. But yes, thank you. Glad you like that. I was finding myself coming home every day and sticking a clip up there. And so why do you got longer hair if all you're going to do is put it up? That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so onward. Our scripture verse foundation for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And then all of our scripture verses, I know I said that we are starting chapter 5 in James because we are continuing to press on with our work through in James chapter 5. And just like in this picture here this week, we've got a crossword puzzle in the coloring page. So for those of you who like crossword puzzles, enjoy that. Now, our verse for last week, oh, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that song. That one was really super fun. Let me see if I've got that one so I can play just a little snippet of that for you. There we go. Okay, so last week's song was called Grandiose Selves by Sailor Soul. And the scripture, while broken up, is directly quoted in this song. So let's take a listen to Grandiose Selves. This was actually 2 weeks ago.
She's got it all handled, or so she claims. Family, money, faith, her name. Won't pray with nobody, won't ask for help. Thanks herself first, puts God on the shelf. Quietly thinks she's doing better than most. As it is, you are full of your grandiose selves. All such vaunting, self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know the right thing to do and don't do it, These are sister breaking.
Okay, I'm gonna let you listen to the rest of that on whatever your favorite streaming platform is. And for now, we're gonna be listening to the song from this week, which takes us to James chapter 5, verse 1 to 3. And that is going to be, well, like I said, it's what you're listening to right now. I know I saw it on Spotify this morning, so hopefully everybody else will catch up in the near future. So, we have been so far looking at like common man individuals and what it is we say and do. First, we looked at how faith and works go together. And then we looked at how words matter. And then we looked at how you treat people is important. And even if you leave something out, that's important too. Because week before last, the song that you just listened to was all about, even if you know the right thing to do and you don't do it, that for you, that is evil, which means sin. Okay, so now we're stepping into chapter 5. And this chapter 5, or the beginning of it anyways, is all about and focusing on rich people. So initially, when I was looking at this, I thought to myself, well, that's not me. I struggle to pay my bills. Sometimes I have to go and get groceries from the little, handout thing. So this does not apply to me. Let me quickly remind you people that I can't speak for every country because I didn't look up everybody, but I know for the United States of America, if you live in the United States of America, you are the richest people in the world. So this directly relates to us and probably most people who have the technology and the resources to be able to watch this podcast to start with. So I would encourage you, look through the study, because at the beginning of every chapter, we look at what's before it, what's after it, what is the impact, and who is he talking to. So I think your eyes may be unfortunately opened wide as mine were. So we're looking at James chapter 5, verse 1 to 3. This is your graphic. It'll come out probably tomorrow. So go ahead and say it with me. Yes, right where you are. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament. You'll need buckets for the tears when the crash comes upon you. Your money is corrupt and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within. You thought you were piling up wealth? What you've piled up is judgment. And that's James 5, 1 to 3. Little bit of encouraging word for you this morning. So the good thing is, and one of the things I so appreciate about James is, I was talking to my mom last night about this. Everybody needs a somebody in their life, at least one, that is going to tell you in kindness where things really are. So while they will love you dearly, they're going to love you enough to tell you the truth. And that is what the book of James is all about. And so this one is definitely going to be a little bit of a spanking today. So Sailor Soul had to throw a little bit of kind of rap and angst in there this week. So really enjoyed that. I thought my mom wasn't going to like the song because I don't think she's really like a rap fan. Too much to my surprise, she listened to the song and at the end she starts laughing and she says, "Hey, just so you know, I really like that." Who knew? My mom was a closet rapper. Okay. So all the products that we're going to be using today are going to be coming from, well, not all the products, but you can find all of them on the show notes, which I don't think have posted yet. So after the podcast, I'll have those up there. They can be found on a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com/shop. Even on the homepage, anything new is going to be right there on that homepage. The calendar, which I think was the last product that was added to the shop, I think it'll be on that homepage as well. So if you do not already have your calendar to guide you through the book of James for 2026, it's already February, doesn't matter. Grab it, keep on going. All right, like any good diet, you cannot wait until January rolls around to start again. You just need to jump in where you are and do it. Okay, and it is called the bread of life, so there we go. She needs a rapper name. Okay, so today we're going to be using this palette you're looking at on the screen right there. This is a beautiful palette from You Can Be. This is I have to look at the name again because I can't read it. This is the Supreme Spookiness. And when I was looking at it again last night, I didn't see this direct palette on Amazon because, we usually use Amazon links. I didn't see this palette directly on there, but they have other palettes that are almost the same colors. They just call them something different. So, take a look you can see the colors here. So take a look, find what palette they have, or use something you've got. So today's theme, because it's an anniversary celebration, we are going to be using a little bit of a smoky, sparkly eye. So we're going to be using kind of a white, a light pink, a black, a gray, and some sparkly silver glitter. So get ready for that. And just because I wasn't sure, I went ahead and grabbed some extra sparkle for the cheeks. We'll see if we do that or not. Anniversary requires sparkle and glitter. So, okay. Let me get over to here. There we go. I am going to be using a couple of new products today. Okay, so we just said she needs a rapper name. I assume you're talking about my mom, or you're talking about Sailor Soul? Waiting for a little clarity here. So, and great to have everybody with me. I am excited to see I got a couple new people in here too, or at least I don't recognize your name. So I'm glad that you're with us too. Whether you're here now or you are watching this later, it is exciting to be here with you. Now, I will tell you something exciting that happened for the podcast in the month of January. I don't actually know exactly what happened, but I was looking at how January performed as far as like watch hours and downloads and all that kind of thing. So not only on the 9th of February, did we pass the 3-year mark? So now we're in the 4th year for the actual day of the first podcast episode. So, woo, 3rd anniversary. But we passed, and I'll have to look and see, but we passed 9,950 download hours just in the month of January. So that is exciting to see. I love thinking about the fact that women who may or may not love Jesus are enjoying playing with the colors that God created and working on Bible verses that are so practical coming from the book of James. All right, so I haven't gotten clarification on who needs a rapper name, so go ahead and tell me who it is that needs a rapper name. And I think that's Anthea there. Who is it that needs a rapper name? And then what is your suggestion? Okay, so we're going to start out with something new. We are going to start out with the milk. This was a product that was originally only available in Sephora, but now you can get it in Ulta Beauty as well. I didn't check Amazon yet to see if that's on there. But this is milk, and this is their heroes. This is going to be the grip primer and then the hydrating seal spray. So we'll see how this works. So we're going to start out with, let me get that first one out of here. This is going to be the primer. And I have combo skin. This says hydrating. That always scares me. So we'll see if it works or not for combo skin. I'm hoping that it's a pleasant balance between tacky and hydration and will just work marvelously beautifully, and it'll be my new favorite best friend. Okay, so we're going to do 1 pump of that. There we go. We just got a little there. I'm being a little, I was going to say generous. That's the wrong word. The antithesis of generous. Cautious with that. There we go. I'm just going to do that right here. Oh, it's very kind of wet and jelly. Has a weird smell. Okay. I kind of don't like the smell. Okay. We're going to go everywhere. Ooh. Can you hear that? This is definitely sticky. I think that we should find a rapper name for your mom. Okay, so while we're doing this, if you think of a rapper name for my mom, you can put it in there. Now, my mom, I think she's 76 this year. And so, in fact, her birthday's coming up on the 19th. So this is definitely very tacky, so I kind of like that. And how about Boombox Boomer Grandma? I'm going to tell her that. That's so cute. Let me put that up there. There we go. Okay, this is a suggested rapper name for my mom. You know, I am just gonna die if I catch her trying to do the rap with it. My dad, I would not be surprised. My dad would do it hands down. So, okay, I'm gonna grab my concealer. This is the Lancome Tinty Doe concealer, and this is a shade 090 Pale. Okay, we're just gonna get that a little bit under here.
This ain't just about
any place that you have something you need to conceal. You got darkness in the corner like I got right there. Maybe you got darkness under the eye there. If you have hyperpigmentation, if you got acne scarring, anything that is a color that you don't want, darkness, redness, whatever, this is your tool to conceal. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit there for like just a second while we talk about, let's see, since we are all older girls here, what is one product that you don't use because of your age? Maybe you're afraid to, or somebody says something, or you read an article about it. But what is a product that you don't use because you think you're too old for it? Oh, there we go. Listen to that. Yes. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna blend that out onto a little bit because we're gonna be using a primer for the glitter medium. So I just hate to get so many things up on my eyelid. So we're just gonna use the concealer over there. So we're just gonna drag that over. Using the middle finger because it has a gentler touch than the like pointer. We're going to use that there to get rid of that red. Okay, so now we got a little lifted area, but we're all a little bit brighter. We don't have the redness. I don't have the darkness happening. So now we can take a look at adding our foundation. So I'm using the Juvia's Place. This is the I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation, and I am the shade 710 Maracau. For some reason, I can't see this morning, so there's that. I already have a dampened beauty blender. I really like this one with the dampened beauty blender. You could try it with a dry one, but this beauty blender, oh, that's too much. This beauty blender was actually made to be dampened. It's the actual Beauty Blender brand. So just run it under water for a second and give it a good squeeze out and get as much water out as possible. You just need a little bit damp. Let's see. I don't use the blushers that are jelly consistency. I can see that. I don't either. I think for me, it's here. Let me put that up there. I think for me, it's kind of a little bit of maybe a control issue. So a couple of things. Sometimes the jelly blushes are made to be, what do they call that? It looks wet and it looks oily. And I just don't care for that look myself because I do that naturally. So I don't need help with that. But they're also a little easier to get out of control. So I don't care for the jelly things either because you have to have another beauty blender. It's another thing you got to tap out. It's another thing that could go wrong kind of quick. So I don't use the jelly ones either. Maybe not so much because of an age thing, just because I don't enjoy the product texture. So, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Jelly blushers. I tell you one that I do. I don't know if this would fall under the jelly category though. I do like the blushes that have the, like the Juvia's Place ones that have the doe foot, where you're just going to do like 3 little taps. Maybe I'll do that. If I can remember, I'll do some of those next week. I do kind of like those because it's a little thicker. And it's not, well, some of them are made to be like a sheer dewy look. That's the word I was looking for about 5 minutes ago. But most of them are not. They're just a nice tinted color. So yeah, I mean, and we're all different. We all have different types of skin. We all have different preferences. We all have different ways that we like to look. So, you know, there's not really any wrong answer here. Just a curiosity question for me. Let's see. I don't use I don't use Whisper Air skin tints. I feel that they have too many things to hide. I've seen your pictures. I'm sure you don't, but we are our worst critic. But yes, I don't understand the point of taking time to put on a foundation or a skin tint that you're gonna just see through. Like, uh, there was once upon a time, there was a cosmetic company called Becca. And Becca was known for their highlighters, for their under eye concealers. They had so many things going on for them. They were one of the original like natural kind of companies. Shows age. But anyways, so Becca had real good success prior to COVID. Then, like right before, maybe 6 months, a year before COVID, they decided they were going to come up with a makeup line called like Zero. And it is exactly what you think. It's a makeup line that looks like you don't have any makeup on. Now, why am I going to spend $28 on a foundation that looks like I'm not wearing a foundation? And it might have been more than that. I don't remember. So unfortunately, that whole marketing campaign and no makeup foundation thing for their whole company was part of their demise, and Becca is no more. They sold their highlighters and under eye concealers to Smashbox, and now they are no longer a company. So that is very unfortunate. But yeah, I think a lot of people do not like the no makeup. If you're just gonna take the time to do it, I want it to look like I took time to do it. That's just me. Okay, but we're all different, and it takes all of us to make the world go round. Otherwise, we wouldn't need stores as big as Sephora and Ulta to make us hit. So now we have our foundation on with all of that talking. So we're all one even color. We are going to set that. I am looking for, there it is. I'm using the Infallible. This is the L'Oreal Blurfection powder. And I'm going to be using my Juvia's Place triangle sponge. I'm going to start out with the pointy tip of that. So we're going to use that pointy. We're going to set it in there. We're going to tap that out. I'm going to start out first under the eye. I know I put concealer up on the eyelid, but I'm not going to put this up there. I'm just going to go under the eye like that. Then we're going to set it in there again, tap it out again, and do under the eye on the other side. There we go. Now we're going to switch over to the wide end of that. We're going to set that in there, tap that out. Sorry, I was listening to the song. Okay. Now we're going to set that in there and do the cheek. And wait, I was working on the video last night. Wait till you see the lyric video. See if I can get that posted today too. I did. Well, I'm not going to tell you. But I tried a new technique for something and it came out super cool. Oh, let's see. Okay, yes. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Okay, here's your hint. Think Santa Claus is coming to town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so here we go. Do the top before I lose track of what I'm doing here. Okay, we're just going to set that foundation up on our forehead as well. We're going around that eyebrow area. Just out of curiosity, do all countries watch that, or is it just an America thing? Do you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the claymation of Santa Claus coming down to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? I think there's actually like 5 claymation things that they did for Christmas. I just never thought about it not being everybody doing it. Okay. Now we're all one color and we're set. Let's go ahead and add some color where we want it to be. I am using the Pretty All Set because I really like the color of this contour right here. I'm going to be using this one right here. And so I'm going to grab the contour brush. It is a dual-ended It Cosmetics, actually a foundation brush. We're just going to, I have very fair skin, so I am tapping gently in here. But I like that this one isn't quite as yellow as that one up here. It's just a beautiful kind of cream and coffee color. So we're just going to go like whoop, whoop. We're going to go from ear about to the corner of the eye, above the hollow of the cheek. And I'm going straight across, well, kind of a little curved, right up beside, and then sort of joining those together in a curve. Let's do, oops, I almost put it in the wrong one. Here we go. Right beside that temple. Bringing them around together. And usually if you get it and it goes on and it's like too much of a line, like a straight, give it a few circle swirls. That will usually fix just about anything. I'm going to go right here. I'm just going to give it some swirls there. Blend that out. I'm going to do the side. I'm going to go from under the ear, under that jawline to the corner of the mouth. That's going to chisel out that chin. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. There we go. There you go. Now I'm just going to barely whoop in there to do beside the nose. I don't want that to be too dark. Under that tip there, we're just going to narrow that a little bit. Now I'm going to close that because I am in a Juvia's Place shadow mood. I love, this is the Juvia's Place. This is the volume 4. And I want the pink that this particular palette has to offer. I want this one right here. So I'm grabbing my MAC blush brush. We're just going to swirl that in there a couple times. We're going to go right on the top of that, kind of overlapping it. And then beside the temple, right up the middle. And then we're going to go right on the top of that up there. I'm going to hit just a little right there and a little bit right there. Okay, now we need some highlighter. So I'm going to grab my trusty Benefit Cosmetics cookie highlighter. I know this one's almost empty, but we're going to use that one. We're going to swirl that in there. I'm going to go right on the top of that cheekbone, right beside that eye socket right there. Then we're going to go down the center, making sure we hit that cupid's bow. I feel like maybe I need just a touch more pink, but you know what? I can come back and do that at the very end. So for right now, we're going to be done with that. Now, like I said, we're going to be doing like a silver, light pink, and black look today. So for our lips, we're going to be kind of dipping into that. So let us say our Bible verse together, and then we will jump on into our lips. So here we go. It's scrolling around. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament. You'll need buckets for the tears when the crash comes upon you. Your money is corrupt, and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within. You thought you were piling up wealth? What you've piled up is judgment. James 5, 1-3. Ooh, this is harsh words. Okay, yes. Claymation makes me think of Wallace and Gromit. Absolutely. Okay, maybe I gave you too big of a hint. Okay, so... Okay, I'm not going to say anymore. You have to wait till it comes out. I am grabbing my NYX. This is a lip liner in, what is the shade called? It's called Blackberry. So this is kind of a very like a wine black kind of color. When you look at it though, you're gonna think it's black, but if you were to put like a black liner on there, that would be very dark. So the Blackberry just softens it ever so slightly. So we're gonna ombre out a pink and black lip today. Yes, Wallace and Gromit. I haven't thought about that in a while. My kids loved Wallace and Gromit. Okay, so we're gonna use that tip there. We're going to start out in the Cupid's bow here. We're just going to flick that down to give us that nice V. And then we're going to overline just a little bit, round that out to the outside corner.
Luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within. But heaven's knocking at the door. But this ain't history. This ain't bad. He's coming back.
All right. Now we're going to start out in the center on the bottom. Again, overlining just a little bit, and now we're going to round that out to the outside corners. Just giving that a nice curve there. Okay, go ahead and make sure you like the shape of your outline right now. Okay, now we're going to come just to the inside of that line. We're going to feather that blackberry out just a little bit so we can come back in with that pink and have that nice ombre. So here we go. Just inside of the line you just did, just go back and forth gently. And you're going to do it with a lighter pressure than what you just used, just like barely touching the skin, and you're just going to kind of zhuzh back and forth. Just one liner pencil width. There you go. And yes, you can use your finger to drag. The only problem with that is when you're using such a dark lip liner, sometimes when you drag your finger, it has a tendency to smear the edge and make it not as crisp. But you can do that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to use the middle finger. And to the inside of that line, making very sure to not smudge the outside of the line. You can just drag that a little bit, and that will kind of do the same thing. I still like doing the feathering, though. Okay, so I'm going to grab my MAC. This is the beautiful Candy Yum Yum. So we're going to start out with that in the center of the lips. So where you didn't put pencils, where we're doing right now.
And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament.
Okay, now that we've got the inside done and that's all nice and clean, now go from there to the outside edge where you put the lip liner. And now we'll just kind of soften that edge. There you go. And you can see now you've just got a nice ombre pink lip that is going to go lovely with the eyeshadows that we are going to be using. Okay, let me see what we got now. So you need to have a couple of things ready. One thing is, oh, there it is. You want to make sure that you've got some sort of primer medium. You could try this with just regular eyeshadow primer, but I don't know if that'll be quite great. Love this NYX glitter primer. So I highly recommend for this project that you do, even if the glitter says that it's already in a primer and you don't need a primer, I would still use this, because the difference is that, we got a troll, here we go. So I would still add this to it, even if it says you don't need a primer, because the risk is this. If you don't use a primer of quality like this one by NYX, what is going to happen is you have a great potential that glitter is going to start falling off your eyelid about halfway through the day. Or it's going to like crease really bad. Or it's just not even going to stick on there at all. And before you even finish your makeup, you can have glitter all over your front of your face. So highly recommend that you use a glitter primer. So let's go ahead and grab that. You Can Be Supreme Spookiness Palette. And I think I've used this before, but I'm not really sure. I know I've used it before. I just don't know if I've used it on here before. Okay, so this is what we got here. Woo! That is something special, isn't it? I just love the You Can Be colors. They wear just like you see them. They're beautiful. So one thing we're going to be careful of today. this has a potential with this dark of colors to have some fallout. So be careful and do not overload your brush. Less is more, so you don't end up with it on your face. In fact, we're going to add a little extra powder under the eye here in just a second before we get going to make sure that we have something to dust off in the event we should know was a black fallout on there. So today we're going to be hanging out here. We're going to use a little bit of this one here. We're going to use this gray one here. Then we're going to use this right here. Well, actually, I think we're doing this one here. It's a little bit darker, adds a little more intensity. And then we're going to finish it off with this. Can you see that sparkly? Look at that. Whew. Okay, so that is where we are going to be hanging out today. Let me go ahead and there we go. Got the chat up there. So if you have any question while we're going along, you can ask that. So I am going to start out, like I said, with a little excess powder underneath the eye. So I'm going to grab the setting powder that we were using just a second ago and a fluffy brush like this one here. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. We're just going to grab that infallible. Take some lessons in lament. I'm going to get some of this on here. Buckets for the tears. And we're just going to do this. When the crash comes upon you. With the goal of setting powder under the eye. So you should actually see like powder. And we're just going to let that sit there while we're working on our eyes. That way we got something to brush off in the event that something ends up where we don't want it to be. Okay, so I'm grabbing a Morphe. This is a M441. Woo. And I'm going to drop it on the floor and have it fall as far away from me as possible. Excuse me just a second. The good thing is Wesley wasn't over there, so I didn't have to compete with my dog for the brush. Okay, so let me take that off. Here we go. We're going to start out in this one right here. Just give that a little swirl. If you have a medium to darker skin tone, you probably want to use this one right here. That's just going to go right up here to give you something to blend into. Okay. So again, this one, medium to dark skin tone. We're just going to use that here. So we're not trying to actually like turn this white or anything crazy like that. We're just trying to give you a little bit of color to have something to blend into. I'm going to set that brush down because we may need that for blending here in just a minute. Now we are going to grab an all over shadow brush. This one is a MAC brush. And we're going to go into this one right here. And I'm just going to get it. Well, I guess we do on both sides because it is a lighter. We're going to go right on here from that where you can feel your bone right there. We're going to go there and then up into that white. You're going to go almost like right up to the top, almost to the brow. There you go. Almost all the way up there. And we can just blend a little bit, just going over where those two colors kind of meet. And we're just going to whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, so that's your light color. Now we're going to darken it up just a smidge with this one right here. I'm just going to get that on one side with one swipe. And I'm going to go from right here, just right there in the middle. And we're just going to blend that up a little tiny. See how beautiful those colors are? Now I'm going to go ahead and take that tip of that, go back in this lighter color. And we're just going to soften the edge where those two meet. There you go. So now we got that right there happening and going on. Now for the fun part. We're going to take another all over shadow brush. And we want to lay a little bit of a gray foundation before we put that glitter on there. It's just going to help you to not have like invisible holes in your shadow color. We don't really need to focus too much on blending or anything with this one because we're just kind of giving it a foundation, like a background color sort of. So we're going to take that other eyeshadow brush and we're going to go in this one right here. It is a frost. I like the way those spread. And we're just going to go right here on the bottom. And again, you're not loading this too much because we want to minimize our fallout. And we're just going to color in that bottom part of the lid with this gray kind of color. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within. And again, you don't need to worry about like trying to blend it out or anything, because the glitter we're going to do here in a second will take care of that mostly. Okay, so okay, now let's go ahead. Well, let me think. Let's go ahead and do the under eye, and then we're going to come back and do the glitter part on the top. I think that might be a more efficient way of doing this. So I'm going to grab a blender. This is a Morphe M508. I think it could be a 3. So we're going to take that. We're going to do the under of the eye part first. So let's start out with this darker pink color here, just on the tip there. We're going to go from the one side all the way to the other side. We're going to brush that off. I'm going to go into this lighter pink right here. This time I'm going to use the side of the brush, and I'm just going to soften that line. I like that. And your fine clothes stink. Okay, now we're going to go into this color right here, just a little bit, right on the tip of that. And we're going to put that just right here in the very outside corner. You'll see why we're doing this here in a minute. We're just going to give it a little bit right there. And I'm just going to come up around that corner and put it right there on the top outside corner of the lid there. Okay. Actually, I feel like it needs a little bit more of this. Boop, boop. Okay. Again, make sure you don't overload this. Yeah. There we go. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament. You'll need buckets for the tears when the crash comes upon you. Okay. Oh, that was fun. Hold on just a second. Okay, evidently my earpiece has decided to stop working, so that's a lot of fun. I can no longer hear anything out of this ear, but we'll press on. Here we go. All right. So now we are going to, we've got the pinks on, we've got that light on, we've got the under of the eye in the dark done. Let's go ahead and dive into what we're going to be doing for the shiny, glittery, sparkly part on the upper part of the lid that I promised you and that we talked about. So the first thing we're going to do is put down that glitter primer first. So this again is the NYX. This is the glitter primer. What does it say? Base Perfection, I believe. So we're going to start out with that. It's kind of like a little bit of a gel. I'm sorry if you're hearing any kind of an echo right now. I have that turned down as much as possible. I'm just going to put that on the back of my hand. We are not going to need that much. Okay, so we're going to take the brush. What is this one? Good question. It is a Morphe M224. So we're going to do this one here, and we're just going to get the tip of it right in that glitter primer, just like that. We're going to put it on the lid. I'm going to do one eye at a time, I think. Nah, let's do both of them. So we're going to do that whole right here, lower part of that lid. And the good thing is, even if your primer says that it doesn't need a primer, the cool thing is that you'll just be set up that much better. Or if you missed any spot when you were doing this part, we're going to do that same thing on the other side with this glitter primer. And we're going all the way from that lash line up to right above the fold. And I'm going to come out just a little bit right there. Go ahead and do that over here too. All right. Now that we got that on, I'm going to use that same brush. I'm going to go into this glittery color right here, and we're just going to get it on one side. You can see how well that sticks right there. And you're just going to press that in to that glitter medium. So you don't need a whole lot every time you dip your brush in. You just need a little bit, just a little bit on the tip of that, and then just press it in. I'm going to get a little bit on the tip there so I can work it out over here. There we go. Okay, there is one. Go ahead and get that same thing done on the other side. Again, you're just getting on one side of the brush and then pressing it in. Now, while you may not have a podcast anniversary to celebrate, I'm sure you got something you could celebrate. Aw, man, I'm going to get busy. I'm going to have to replay the last 25 minutes. I'm sorry, but the good thing is, once YouTube gets the thing, because I think you're on YouTube, once YouTube gets the video rendered, you'll be able to watch the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to grab that and get it right here on that side. We're going to come out just a little bit. And again, we're coming all the way up to here. Making sure both sides are ending about the same spot there. Okay. Woo woo. Okay, let me cap the glitter medium as that's now sitting loose and open, a dangerous thing on my table. Okay. So you can take a look at your blending that you were doing earlier. If there is anything that you need to touch up between here and there, you can go ahead and do that now. I think everything looks pretty blended here. Okay, let's go ahead and add, sorry, I'm messing with the volume up here again. Let's go ahead and add a little eyeliner now, which evidently I did not bring with me. Okay, so we're just going to be using today the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner, which is fine. And this will, well, actually, that's not fine because, hold on, let me see if it's behind me. It is not behind me. Well, yuck. Okay, so Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner. You know what? Let's just use the lip liner. Okay, don't do this at home, kids. My black liner, I don't know where it went. I don't see it up here. So we're just going to use a lip liner for right now. We're going to go right here on the bottom. This ain't just about them. And we're going to line over all the way to that inside line on the bottom. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament. We're also going to line on the water line so that we don't end up being able to see the fleshy part of our skin. So for those of you who have darker pigment, this will actually be easier for you and look better on you. So there's that. Yes. I'm actually not seeing fallout. So we didn't use very much of the black just on the under part. So I'm really not seeing. I had to do a little dust right here because I have a tendency to over flick right there. But that's a me problem, not a them problem. So you should be fine. That's one thing I like about these shadows. You know, while I love a lot of MAC, I cannot stand their eyeshadows. They are so fallouty, flaky, chalky. It drives me crazy. Okay. So now we've got that on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and give a little liner up here on the upper lid. Okay, that's just going to kind of darken that out and help that smoke out just a little bit better. Now I got glitter all over my hands. So now we're going to grab our liquid eyeliner. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner. We're going to give that just a little bit of a shake. We gave a little bit of a tail over here. So we're just going to take that and bring that in. And we're going to go all the way to the inside here. And just give ourselves a nice line. Now we're going to be using a black adhesive today. So when we do that, some of this you may not need as much because it's going to naturally be there from the adhesive. But I just want to make sure that we are good and covered. So there we go. Let's go ahead and do that same thing over here. All the way from the inside edge. I'm going to start out doing that right there first. And then we're just going to come to where the silver is and bring that in. Just filling in that little triangle right there. And we're going to bring it down right to the under, right there on the eye.
Just about them. It's about us.
There you go. We're just going to color that right there.
And a final word to you, arrogant rich.
Oh, man. Gotta hate it when that happens. Okay, I'm going to grab my little bullet.
You'll need buckets for the tears. When the crash comes upon
And grab that little underliner thing. We're going to fan that down. Let that dry and do its thing for a second. Actually, I think we might need a little bit from here to there.
corrupt and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within.
I can't tell if it's a shine right there. Okay, there we go. We're gonna fan that down one more time. I'm gonna take a little tiny eyeshadow brush like this one right here. I'm gonna get that in my setting powder and I'm just gonna go right there. The eyeliner transferred ever so slightly. I don't like that. So we're gonna do that. And then because that causes me to get rid of the lighter pink that I was using, I'm gonna grab that smudger that we were using. I'm gonna go into that lighter pink, just a little, well, let me get the black off first. I'm gonna go into that lighter pink right here, and we're just gonna put that right there. There you go. Now I am going to take another smudger. I feel like we need a little bit of lightening on the inside. So I'm going to take a smudger. We're going to go in that white right here or whatever lighter color you used. And I'm just going to put that right here on the inside. There you go. That just brings that out, lightens that, brightens that up just a little tiny bit. Okay, so now we are going to do our brows and then we'll do our lashes. So I'm going to grab the Voluminous Mascara from L'Oreal. That is going to be my brow color while we're waiting for all of our shadows to set and everything. Whatever your brow product of choice is, you're going to go ahead and do that right now. There we go. This does a great job of giving me just a little bit of color and then setting those brows. So I'm just using if you have fashion color hair, this is something that you can do. I'm just using the tip of that to give me ever so slight, small amount of color up in there, making sure that I kind of stay away from the skin itself, just coloring the hairs. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament. And just coming around to that tail. You'll need buckets for the tears. Whether you're using pencil, pomade, the brow mascara like I'm doing, well actually this isn't brow mascara, but using a brow mascara, doesn't matter, whatever that is, just go ahead and do that now. There's not a wrong answer for the brows. It just depends on the look that you want for your brow. And I know right now I'm seeing the trend really coming back around to a thinner brow, thank goodness. So we'll start seeing probably pencils become more of a thing because that is definitely easier to control. To get a thinner brow would be a pencil versus some of these other things that they have come out with. Wow, that liquid liner has just gone a little crazy. Okay, let's see what can a good lash fix. So we're going to put a little mascara on and then we'll put our false lashes on. So I am going to go ahead and grab my, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Tweezerman Onyx Great Crib Eyelash Curler. We got that verse scrolling around the bottom. We are going to be using that for our timer. So find your spot here on your lashes. You want to make sure that you can crimp it down, but that it does not pinch your eye. Okay, here we go. And crimp. Okay, well, we'll start right here. You'll need buckets for the tears when the crash comes upon you. Your money is corrupt and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within. You thought you were piling up wealth? What you piled up was judgment. James 5, 1-3. So go ahead and switch to the other side. We're going to do that one. Then we'll say the verse with that one. Finding that sweet spot. Here we go. Let's see. You'll need buckets for the tears when the crash comes upon you. Your money is corrupt and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within. You thought you were piling up wealth? What you've piled up is judgment. James 5, 1-3. You know that word stink in the Bible verse. So funny. I remember one of the times they were coming through, I can't remember if it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. It's one of the Gospels. They were telling this story about Lazarus and Jesus doesn't make it to Lazarus before he passes away. And I think it's one of the disciples that say to him in the King James, because that's what you did back then, but surely, Lord, he stinketh. I could not help but busting out laughing. My dad was a pastor and I would always get in so much trouble. And so I remember one of the times my dad was getting on me about laughing during church about that. And I said, well, then stop saying stinketh. The things we remember as kids. Okay, so I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. We're just going to give one coat on the top because we want our lashes to blend in seamlessly with the false lashes. And let's do that on the other side as well.
You'll need buckets for the tears when the crash comes upon you. We think we're blessed 'cause we got more, but heaven's knocking.
There you go. Just one coat. Sweeping back under the tips though, because we want to make sure that everything is nice and coated. This will help give a little more volume with your false lashes as well. And then everything will just kind of blend in a little bit better when you get to that part of it. So the bottom lashes though, you're not going to get lashes there because I've seen some TikTok videos and that just looks weird. So we're going to go ahead and give one coat of mascara on the bottom lash here. But a nice generous coat. And I am really not liking that eyeliner on the inner corner. You have to do some fixing to that. Funny, I thought the thing that was going to be my problem was going to be, let's see, is that adhesive? I don't know. That did help it a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the mascara on the bottom on the other side. There you go. And we're sweeping back under the tips under that as well. I like to kind of keep my mirror above my face when I'm doing this, because when you look up like that, it sort of makes your bottom lashes stand at attention. So they come out from your skin a little bit better so that you can't, or it minimizes the possibility that you would end up with mascara accidentally getting on your face. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it minimizes the possibility. Okay, let's get a little bit over here. Nice. So we got a nice coat of mascara on. We got some liner happening. We've got the lashes prepped and ready to go. This is going to be the Kiss Lash Couture. Oh, the thing is missing. This is the Jubilee, I believe. Yeah, Jubilee. So we're going to use these today. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these off of the tray that they're on. So we're going to use our little lash tool. And we're going to grab it from the outside edge. I'm just going to set that right there in front of me. Let me grab the other one right there. Set that right there in front of me. There you go. We are using a black adhesive today. So this is going to be the Kiss Super Stick. This is made to be extended wear, although I would just call it a great one-day wear. I'm going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a shake so the adhesive product can be all mixed up together. We're going to take it and we're going to do one eye at a time. So we're going to take that mascara. We're going to take that adhesive and I'm just going to wipe off one side of that adhesive. So only one side fully has a product. And we're going to go right over that eyeliner line. Right over that eyeliner line. And I'm going to put it back in. Scrape the one side off again. I'm going to do it over here all the way to the end. Make sure that middle gets some nice coverage. Okay, now that we got that on there, we're going to use that lash tool. We're going to grab our lash that has already worn a couple times, but we can give it a little softening. We're going to grab that right in the middle, and we're going to put that right on that adhesive line. There you go. I'm just going to use the tip of that to work my lashes into that lash and give it a little pressy press there. Give it a little press up so my lashes will be like nice and curled up. There we go. So we got a nice pale pink dark look. Close your eye. Ba-bam! We got glitter. Woo-woo! Okay, so now let's do that same thing. Let's do that same thing on the other side. So again, we're taking that adhesive. We're brushing off that one side. We're going to do the inside of the eye. Right along that lash line. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to get that adhesive on one side again. I'm going to do the outside corner. To the middle. I feel like maybe I need a little more adhesive there. Let's do this. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab that lash right there. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Get that right there in the middle. And let's set that right there in the middle. And then that's going to go right there on that outside corner. Pressing down, just making sure everything's got good contact and connection there.
This ain't just about them. It's about us.
There we go.
And,
and let's see. Let's take
some lessons in lament.
The smudger here. We had a little bit of smudgy happening right here. So we're just going to take that and desmudge that. Just going in that light pink color. Putting that on that. Go ahead and grab that. Put that back over the top. There we go.
Your money is corrupt and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut. Destroying your life from within.
All right. So, what have we got now? Let's see. Have I missed anything? I don't think so. So, we've got a nice ombre lip. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, so, we put that extra powder on under the eye in case we had fallout, which we didn't really, but it's just precautionary. So now we're going to take that same brush and just swoosh away all that excess powder. Now, I want to make sure that I still have some highlighter on there. So I'm going to grab the highlighter again. I'm going to use my Anastasia brush. I'm just going to swirl that. Let's just go right here. There we go. Now, I think, I said earlier that I grabbed some extra something glitter. So you definitely do not have to do this. But if you are out celebrating something super special and you want a little something extra, I'm grabbing the Color Pop. And this is the Glitterly Obsessed. Which one is this one? This one is Glitterly Obsessed. And this is called So Cute. And this I used before, so the link for this is already going to be on the website, so you could do this. So we're going to unscrew that. And this has a little, like a cap on it, because that's what keeps it from drying out, because it's suspended in a little bit of something to make it stick. So we're just going to take this. I'm going to use 2 fingers. Actually, I'm going to do these 2. I'm going to go right here in this. I'm going to get some of that on there. Ooh, maybe not that much. And we're just going to go right here. Ooh, get out there. Oh. Wendy is going to come to work today with glitter. Literally glitter is out everywhere. Okay. That's okay. Okay. So that is going to go just around, kind of like a C around the eye. We're just going to put that. Don't tap too much. You don't want to muck up your foundation, but just give you a little bit right there. And actually, I think I need a little we're just going to put a little, in a little triangle right here. Just do a little bit right there. Wendy, what did you do this morning before you came to work? Well, okay, so that just gives us a little something of a punch, little extra sparkle, little extra celebration. You know, this would have been a good one to do for Mardi Gras too, for those of you who have anything to do with that or know about that. All right, so I'm just going to tap out right here. Now, we don't want this to go anywhere. We don't want this to do anything weird over the course of the day. I want it to stay just like this all day and not have to mess with it. So I'm going to grab the milk primer, and this is the hydro one that was in that container. Going to give it a shake because it looks like it needs a shake. And let's give a spray. Let's see how this is, and please don't be a spitting spray. Here we go. It's kind of a spitting spray. Maybe I should have sprayed it back from about 20 feet. Okay. Okay, so for those of you thinking about traveling the travel size, it's a pretty good spray. Okay. So we'll see how that lasts over the course of the day. I will keep you posted about that for sure. It's a very cooling spray. I like the smell of that one. So we'll see how it works. If it does anything or if it caused any separation in my foundation, we'll figure that out here in just a minute. All right. So key takeaways. What do we do today? So we started out with a new primer. We used the milk primer, and this is the hydro, I think it's called. Then we pressed on to our concealer, our foundation. We used our setting powder. We contoured. Then we added a little extra powder just as a fluff in case we had fallout from the shadow. And then we just left that sitting there on the face while we did our shadow so that it could catch any fallout and we could dust it off at the end. So in this case, we didn't have too much fallout, so that's a great thing. And then we did a little ombre lip using a NYX blackberry liner with our Candy Yum Yum from MAC to get us that nice ombre lip. We then moved to our eyes and got a little bit, almost a cut crease, but not quite, going on with some glitter spectacular for our 3rd anniversary celebration. We used a little pink, we used a little black, we used a little silver, we used a little white. Whoop, whoop. So that was using the You Can Be Supreme, what was this? Supreme Spookiness, Supreme Spookiness palette. And then we ended up finishing it off with the milk setting spray. Oh yeah, we added some glitter. That was a ColourPop glitter. So lots of fun today. Thank you for joining me, whether you're here live or you're watching this later on, or you're watching the replay because you had to go do something. So I hope that you enjoyed that. So last week we had a review of chapter 4 in our Bible verses. So we're going to start out, I think it's actually in, so the first one was like 1 to 3, I think. So we're going to start out with, actually, let's go a little bit because we've been going for a little while. Let me do 2 more. Okay, so let's look at James 4, verse 11 to 12. Don't badmouth each other, friends. It's God's word, his message, his royal rule. There you go. His royal rule that takes a beating in that kind of talk. You're not honoring the message by writing graffiti all over it. God is in charge of deciding human destiny. Who do you think you are meddling in human destiny, in the human destiny of others? And then we went on to verse 13. That was 13 to 15. And that was, oh man, this one I struggle with. So I'm going to use a cheat sheet on this one. And now I have a word for you who brashly announced today, at the latest tomorrow, we're off to such and such a city for the year. We're going to start a business and make a lot of money. You don't know the first thing about tomorrow. You're nothing but a wisp of fog, catching a brief bit of sun. You're nothing but a wisp of fog, catching a brief bit of sun before disappearing. Instead, make it a habit to say, if the master wills, and we're still alive. Yes, and we're still alive, and we'll do this or that. Okay, woo. All right, and then we finished out chapter 4 with verse 16 to 17, and that as it is, you are full of your grandiose selves. All such vaunting, self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know the right thing to do and don't do it, that for you is evil. And then we're on to our verse for this week, which is beginning chapter 5, and that is definitely going to need that for this one. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament. You'll need buckets for the tears when the crash comes upon you. Your money is corrupt and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within. You thought you were piling up wealth? What you piled up was judgment. And that's James chapter 5, and that's verse 1 to 3. All right. And all of these are coming from Color Me James. Technically there's 4 different versions right now because Amazon's got the paperback. I have some imperfects that are cheaper that are on the website right now. I think I only have like 3 of those left. Then we've got the spiral bound, which is the best for coloring if you ask me, because that spiral bound allows you to open it up and lay it out flat. And then we have the ebook as well that you could use on your phone or on your tablet. I give you the resources for a couple of apps that will help you to color in the coloring pages and also write in the journaling. And so you can go to colormejamesbook.com to pick that up. Also on the colormejamesbook.com, there is a link for an email series. That email series is going to guide you from the beginning of James 1:1. I, James, am a slave of God. It's going to guide you from that all the way through to the end of it. And it's going to show you all the videos, have everything outlined, all of the graphics for the Bible memorization. So you can keep those as flashcards on your phone, whether you like portrait or landscape, your pleasure. You can do what you want to. And so that is there. Now, let me see what else we got. Oh, on YouTube, we have our Beauty and Grace Insiders. So if you're thinking about doing the ebook, the Cherished Queen membership level comes with that ebook. You get that for free. So make sure you follow the directions on your screen, follow through to the email series, because the email series is how it's going to deliver the ebook to you. So just stay with that. In the Cherished Queen, get that book for free. Enjoy that. So let me send you out with a blessing. Again, it has been a delight to hang out with you this lovely day, whatever day it is that you're watching this. So the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, what a wonderful, glorious day it is to get to hang out here together. And I am so thankful for the opportunity to have been doing this for a little over 3 years now. I just pray that you would be with each one of these women who pass through, I was going to say pass through the doors, but that's not quite right, who pass through the videos of this series. I pray that you would have each of them to have eyes to see and ears to hear what it is that you would have for them in this study of the book of James. And I thank you so much for making us women of God, Father, that we have the joy and privilege every day, should you choose to accept it, to play with the colors that you have given us by applying our makeup. So I thank you for this opportunity to just hang out here together as women in Christ, to do that together and to share with each other, to celebrate different things and answer each other's questions and share prayer requests and all that good stuff. Father, I just thank you and praise you that you would send them out this week with blessings. Help us to be diligent in our beginning of studying of chapter 5 and work with us on our inefficiencies, like my rough end of chapter 4. And just give us that extra measure of grace to hide those words in our hearts, because you have told us that that is important in multiple places in the Bible, but definitely in the book of Psalms. So I pray that you would be with us this week and always, Father. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right. Well, it has been a joy to hang out with you here today. I look forward to seeing you on social media this week. Let me see a picture of what you did. Tag me in it. Share with me your favorite makeup tip. What is your number one makeup tip? Leave that in a comment on whatever platform that you're on right now. And don't forget to subscribe for more looks from a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. I hope that you have an absolutely marvelous rest of your day and week, and look forward to seeing you online. Mwah! Y'all have a great day.